Hello, welcome back in. We're in to round 3 here in the 2024 Spring NACL Open Qualifiers 1. CGC will be facing off against BlackRock Esports. See how the two esports clubs on each side will do. Both so far undefeated. CGC are 5th seed facing off against the number 6 seed in BlackRock Esports. Close on both sides, honestly. Whenever you have seeds that are right next to each other, it can go either way. You just never know. Both teams incredibly talented here. One thing, just so you know, you'll see JoJo there on CCG Esports. They're actually Flocon. So when you hear me call him Flocon instead of JoJo, you know it's not JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, nor is that JoJo PM.
Minions have spawned.
Well, looking at the draft so far, Vakin here on to that Nocturne. Been talking about how powerful Nocturne is on 14-1. Experimental Hexplate. You rush that, you just have so much power here as Nocturne. But the big thing, look at that bot lane. InoriB playing that Jhin. It's kind of like one of those tiers down from the Lucian, Varus, and Ashe, but still something that has been played a decent amount. But the NACL support for Pockus. Pockus, a player I've watched for quite some time. This is someone that, back in the past, the reason why they go by Pockus is for Hocus Pocus, as they like to play a lot of the mages as support. And Pockus, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that that is the case, because I remember watching you back in the day. Lots of Lux, lots of those carry junglers, carry supports in the mages. They're playing this NACL right up the wheelhouse. The old style that Pockus is so used to. But I see a lot of familiar faces here. Crimson, the twin brother of Sniper, General Sniper, that we now see playing for 100 Thieves. As well, we have Red and Trevor, previously having been part of it. Cincinnati Fear and then Supernova. There's a lot of strong members who have been around the scene for some time on both sides. More the collegiate angle here out of BlackRock Esports with Kitzuo and RobbyBob. But even Red, someone who has played in the collegiate scene as well. Someone who's also worked their way through the open qualifiers all the way up to actually having won some of the qualifying events for the NACL, just sadly with how a lot of off seasons end up working. Has yet to actually get themselves stably into the tier 2. But now having that Varus here in the bot lane with Trevor, both of them incredibly strong players in their own right. But it is going to be difficult when you have that melee support into the double range on the other side. Even if you have good range, such as you do with Varus, you're going to struggle a bit. Oh, but mid lane, Flocon. I thought he would look for the all-in there on RobbyBob. Got him so low. Just needed to land one more of those Dark Spheres. Get the Ignite with the Cleanse. Traded in the bot lane. Red got a little dicey there. Taking those Tangle Barbs to the face. On all of those Bursting Blooms that have been thrown out here by Pockus. Kind of crazy to think that hasn't even used that much mana. Just standing there threatening. Any little bit of poke chipping down the health bars. If we go back into the mid lane, RobbyBob, having not died there, was able to TP back into mid lane. There's a TP traded by Flocon as well. So just TPs on each side. Either fully gaining control. Kind of just seeing the ebb and flow right now from each of these lanes. The only thing that's really working out on any part of the map is going to be the top lane. But Kitzuo having to flash away from Vakin there. The Fear did connect. That invade from Kitzuo as they were winning out in the bot lane. That's why the double InoriB really just going to be the flash aggressively from InoriB. There's a good shattering strike there from from Trevor Roy to stop any further assault there that could have come through from the side of BlackRock Esports. These are two teams that I'm excited to see, and I'm sad that they're meeting now. I would have loved to have seen them further down, but I could honestly see, depending on who they face up against, that these two teams could have been some of the undefeated ones. Of course, we have a lot of talent here in the open qualifiers. Our #1 seed, Winthrop University. That is the expected favorites for everyone. Most likely going to be our team that remains undefeated through it all. But here you have two teams with a lot of talent stacked into them. 5 and 6, as I said before in the seeding. But kind of going back to the point I was making earlier. I was talking about this top lane, Crimson. Getting that lead here. Gwen, such a good pick into any tank matchup in the top lane. And we've seen a lot of Gwen throughout the open qualifiers, dominating most of these lane matchups and getting so many leads. And it's doing so right now for Crimson, which is allowing Vakin to take those Void Grubs. We do see that Kitzuo could path around, but with RobbyBob being so low with no mana, only level 5, can't clear out the waves efficiently enough, there's no real way that Kitzuo can answer the Void Grubs. We're going over the CCG. There it is. All 3 of the early ones will be picked up. I don't know if any of you have kind of seen what Captain Flowers calls the Void Grubs, Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I do like that. I think that's a clever one. Could go with the 3 Stooges as well. There's so many different nicknames that you can call them. The 3 Amigos. That's another good one. 3 Musketeers. I think I have a preference towards Ed, Ed, and Eddie, personally. But then again, I think it's kind of like with the Rift Heralds, right? You have the 2 Rift Heralds, and they shouldn't share the same name. Then technically not the same. So it should be Ed, Ed, and Eddie for maybe the first group of them, because they're the ones that can't do anything. They're not really that much of a threat. But then the next round, maybe it's a little bit more, or it should be the opposite. Maybe the first round's more threatening than the second round. Because the second round, you're more powerful and actually can take them down a lot quicker. Let me know what you think. Kind of interested to see what kind of nicknames we can come up with that. But at the moment, a little surprised to see not too much action happening between these 2 squads. Could be respect between them. Like I said, 5 and 6. But it also could be the fact that you look at the compositions. A Nocturne wants to hit level 6, and guess what? He's level 6 Tunneler bot. You look mid lane, Syndra wants level 6, level 7, there. Bot lane, Red, Serrated Dirk, stacking up that tier. Gonna be nice, because that's gonna be the Pockus. Then top lane, Haunting Guys for Crimson. Only the components for some of these much needed members of the side. Oh, Decoy. Popping Ghost and all out needlework from Crimson. You need that first item built, but he almost got it there. As the needlework was nearly enough to take down Decoy. Both of them low. Flash coming in from Trevor. That's the paranoia. Lights turned off. Dashing in, avoiding the knock up, the poke. Not enough. First blood for RobbyBob. They got Flocon on the other side, unleashing power on InoriB. But now where's your own power? RobbyBob's got you on the wrong side, and you cannot escape from the wrath that is this collegiate. But you did turn it around to get a double kill for yourself, Flocon. As in the bot lane, Trevor could have continued the fight. It is the mimic there. No, it's not. That's the real deal. I thought Pockus would have run towards RobbyBob, but he had not. Instead, has got Trevor locked in this alcove. The poke missing for Red. Killing spree for RobbyBob. Unofficial triple kill in that fight. What a turn of events there. It started off looking like a good fight there for CCG. Engaging with Vakin, getting into the back line, even getting a double kill for Flocon. But RobbyBob, slowly but surely, mechanically, marching on. Getting himself the unofficial triple kill. This Corki, not just online, is going to be feared on the Rift. That was even without having the package, I believe. Like, let's see. Does he have it now? Doesn't have the package now. But 45 seconds until that's up. It turns around a lot of these plays will make it a lot easier here for BlackRock Esports. I was talking about how the game kind of was passive. They need to get those level 6s, level 7s, and sure enough, Vakin did go for it. But excellent reads on the other side, and narrowly do they turn around the fight. So it's going to be the flash in with the flag and drag, logging in Flocon. Unleash power does get a lot of damage onto Kitzuo as Trevor dives in, but the flash away from RobbyBob denies the stun that Trevor could have gotten. But the curtain call opened up. Doesn't even need it. Just had the missile barrage there from RobbyBob. 4-0 now on Corki. And to think all of this is without the package, RobbyBob. Gotta feel so happy with this one. And as Corki is one of those great scaling champions, just gonna get worse to deal with as the game continues. No one can really absorb that poke damage. Is constantly gonna unleash. And because Corki just sits here, the package, I believe, is up now. Yep, can go get the package. That's an easy Void Grubs. Denying the 6 that could have been picked up here for CCG. The snowball potential, especially when you have something like Nocturne. Any additional factors that can add into your snowball is going to be huge. So with 3 apiece, none of the Void Mites will be spawned on either side. Just going to be a little bit of true damage burn onto these turrets. Ooh, but Trevor has found InoriB sleeping at the wheel. He was shopping, and Vakin, he'll be the one really cashing in on that. Good play there from Trevor. InoriB, he thought he was safe. It's like, I'm far enough back. No way they're going to dive all the way over here, right? But you don't know Trevor. I've casted this guy for a while. Red fighting back. Oh, what a wombo combo from Decoy and Pockus, dragging in Red to the Pot Blossom. Never seen such a play like that. That was insane. Decoy. Heads up read there, realizing that Pockus had been rooted in place by the Chain of Corruptions, so he drags in Red, saying, you're going to get locked down whether you like it or not.
Red team has slain the dragon.
With that kill, they get themselves a dragon, the Chemtech. They've got control on the bottom quadrant of the map. Insane. I always forget what this one's called. Which one is this one? Yeah, Hollow Radiance. That's right. This one's the burn. Essentially the Sunfire Cape, but for MR. I always forget what the name of that one is. All right, we are getting some item spikes. Rift Maker for Crimson. That experimental hex plate for Vakin. The Omus for Red. Even though they are down about 1,500 against BlackRock Esports, these are big power spikes for the members of CCG Esports. They can utilize this pressure, especially, let's see, we look at the timers there. We are getting closer towards when the Rift Herald will spawn in about a minute's time. Don't forget to turn those on. So once that spawns, with these power spikes unlocked for CCG, I would expect them to start moving towards the top half of the map. Even though they have a lot of excellent vision laid down by Trevor. You can see how blue the bottom quadrant of the map is. I'm just getting a little bit. In fact, I'll just show you all. See all over here. It is getting slowly cleared away. But it has given them a lot of information. They aren't too threatened here because they are waiting. The objectives are truly going to be what matters. With Crimson having that Rift Maker, even if you have the Hollow Radiance for Decoy, it'll let you wave clear a little bit, but if Crimson wants the battle, it's going to be rough for you to deal with Decoy. Even if you try to get a little bit of damage, that's Gwen you're facing off against. Pull back in. Well done. Good buffer there. Thought there'd be a little bit more, but a good flash from Flocon. Away, but locked in the pit. No escape. Another kill for RobbyBob as Decoy. He's running fast, but they are chasing him and cannot actually finish off the kill. Decoy again living up to that name. He was the Decoy while his team wins out in mid lane, having already gotten the kill, getting the damage. Trevor standing valiantly the best he can, but could not defend the structure from falling. The double stun, the flash away. Trevor has a shield underneath. Magnustorm to lock down Kitzuo. The burn from Ignite will get the kill back. All the while, Vakin chasing RobbyBob. Gets the smite, the slow. Wants to go over to the wall. Flash for it. Still followed up, though. These Qs making it a little bit easier, but Vakin still just cannot keep up with the mobility that Corki has. So no shutdown there for this Nocturne, but forcing out the members of BlackRock Esports. Talked about these spikes that were being picked up on the side of CCG Esports right around the Rift Herald. TP, Crimson will easily get back towards this fight. We're actually seeing TP There it is. There's that TP. I was waiting for that one right as the ward despawns. Decoy. Getting a little bit of tension. 50% on the Rift Herald. Could be bad, actually, for CCG. They weren't set up quickly enough. As the dive in. The steal from Kitzuo on the Rift Herald. And then the kill with the snipe from the missiles. They've taken out JoJo. Taken out Flocon. No longer have to worry about that assassination tool and the unleash power, the outplay button. They are stealing everything. They are bandits inside of the jungle here of CCG. BlackRock Esports are not done either. Vakin gonna be the first casualty. Legendary RobbyBob as Crimson dives in. Needlework will at least trade it back onto Kitzuo. Getting a lot of damage on InoriB. The flash away. RobbyBob barely surviving for his own double kill. As CCG falling to the might of BlackRock Esports. And as you can see, Rock beats Scissors every single time. BlackRock now firmly in control. 9-0 RobbyBob. Even having a Malignance on this Corki. You know, I haven't seen that tech, but I love it. I absolutely adore that. Even more poke damage from your missile barrage. RobbyBob. I love the story of RobbyBob, this player who's dominated Collegiate and always has worked towards getting to the tier 2. Finally got their shot last year. But unfortunately, the team wasn't all too strong, and RobbyBob suffered a little bit. But you see the tenacious play style of this player. Even if he struggled, still bouncing back, refusing to give up. Constantly looking to improve, and I can always respect that from a player. He's looking damn good in this open qualifiers. Thing is, this game is not over just yet. Though Crimson, if you die solo here to Decoy as the Gwen, that could be bad. The Needlework will turn it around. Could have gotten real dicey there. You do get the structure and that kill. Gwen losing out to Cassante in a 1v1 duel. Even if it was Crimson trying to take the turret all the while fighting against Decoy. This doesn't bode well at the moment for CCG Esports. Especially as that play is made in the top lane. Rift Herald that had been stolen by Kitzuo spawned in the bot lane. Probably going to get another charge here. Already took down that tier 1 and looking to get a charge onto tier 2. The Crimson. Yeah, oh, okay, never mind. No charge. Crimson, that is a good play. Realizing that they were using a lot, and all they needed to do was hit the eye once to take out Shelly. Good bit of gold there. Influx for the side of CCG Esports. Necessary, too. Because that is 2 items on this Gwen, who's only going to get worse and worse for Decoy to deal with. No longer do I worry about this 1v1 matchup for Crimson. If ever Decoy tries to stand tall against Crimson, even if Crimson misses everything, you're still gonna lose. That's just how the matchup goes. These Scissors seem like they're gonna be made a lot stronger coming up soon. And then rock, paper, scissors. I said it before. Rock beats Scissors every time. I guess not every time. Depends on what the Scissors are made of, if you think of it. And also depends on the rock. Like, imagine you have a really big pair of Scissors and a tiny rock. I think the rock is going to get smashed by the Scissors at that point. All right, Crimson trying to run away. Cataclysm putting down the hologram, the mist, giving a little bit of distance, and the Needlework. But that's the curtain call opened up. 1, 2, 3. Sniped down by the sniper, InoriB. And taking out Crimson does give him an angle, at least to try to show up in this mid lane before the structure will fall. And RobbyBob, 3 items. The Muramana has been finished. Eclipse, Malignance, melts the minion waves, melts the health bars if anyone even dares stand up them. And all RobbyBob has to do is fire out these missiles one after another. But a lot of gold is being picked up by both teams. It's pretty much equated. Bot lane tier 1 falls. Top lane tier 1 falls. Neither really gaining that much of a lead outside of 3,000 that has been there for quite some time for BlackRock Esports. It's been hovering and floating between 2 to 3,000. That's, if we check, spread out pretty decently. Actually, no, it's not. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I mean, wait, what am I thinking? My brain turned off for a second. A 9-0 Corki, of course he's gonna have that kind of lead. 3,000. It's more equated by other members. Well, especially the top lane. Ivan Crimson of about 1,000 gold over Decoy here. The 2 turrets that were picked up before. Kitzuo having a bit of a lead here against Vakin, but with the Hex Tech. Experimental Hex Plate, sorry. For Vakin. That's really the power spike you need. It's actually going to be double Hollow Radiance. For the top and jungle duo of BlackRock Esports. Really difficult for them to kill. Especially when you look at how much MR is going to be pumped out here. MR, AP is going to be pumped out here by Crimson and Flocon. Going to be hard when the people engaging on you have that good magic resist that can sustain a lot of the damage. Especially because Flocon is so far behind. The Storm Surge is there, but so on components for other items, while RobbyBob, 3 items and half miles ahead of Flocon. So I think they need to start shifting some of this gold into that Syndra, because if this Syndra can't pop even an NACL, then what's the point? You got to get the skill onto RobbyBob or an NACL. Honestly, I would prefer RobbyBob, because if RobbyBob survives, you're going to take a lot of damage with this poke. And now having the package as the next dragon, the 3rd one of the game, Infernal Soul on the line. But it is going to be a trade here, as package used to help burn down the dragon, but the Baron is in the eyes of CCG Esports, and they've got all 5 here. The stun on a Decoy. They realize it's taken, but it's a slow burn onto this Baron. Plenty of time for the rest of BlackRock Esports to show up. They're still on it, 50%. They realize they have to peel back. They don't have the burn. Who's going to take down this Baron quickly when you have a Syndra and a Vars, and it's not even the on-hit Vars, it is the lethality Vars. It is a slow take, and unfortunately for CCG Esports, they lose out on so much going for that play. Soul point on the line now. 3 dragons, and one of them being an Infernal Dragon. To give extra burst damage to RobbyBob when he lands one of those rockets, especially the big one. While the gold might look even, at least closest and close-ish to even. The fact of where the gold has been allocated for each of the teams is really what's going to be the deciding factor in this one. CCG Esports have to paint a target onto RobbyBob. Corki is all that matters, and he is package-less. No delivery service on that side. There's a lot more vulnerable now. I need to see them really put the pressure and pain onto RobbyBob here. He's been sitting on that 700 gold bounty for quite some time, and I think even if he killed now, he'll still retain a bounty. Kill him twice. You're back in this game, CCG. Side is really the only one that you have to fear. And RobbyBob, not someone I'm used to seeing find themselves in precarious situations. Good defensive player. That's why I've praised their Azir, their Corki play. Even seeing a lot of RobbyBob in CLOL playing Galio in the past just to facilitate the rest of the team. To build up the team until these team fights. And then has immaculate positioning. We're seeing that again here against CCG Esports. Both teams undefeated so far into round 3. 2-0. But only one team will retain that and move forward into round 4. Which one will it be? I wouldn't be surprised, likely. Whatever team wins here probably will end up facing up against Winthrop University, assuming they win their matchup. That's going to be kind of daunting to think about. You win this one, you face off against the seeded 1 team that everyone has agreed the strongest on paper. But at the same time, isn't that a nice prize for yourself too? Hey, we get a face off against the #1 team. If we look good, hey, we pull off a miracle win too. Even better. You just never know with how best of ones work. Right now, CCG sieging this tier 1 with the engage on the other side. Flocon, the target. Curtain called. Oh, got a little bit of damage, but the snipe there helps out as they got the engage from Trevor, but nobody could follow that one up. Crimson, you were too late. Pop Blossom in the air, and RobbyBob shows up in the nick of time to make sure the team will survive. Only Kitzuo going to be the casualty for BlackRock. Chasing down a Vakin decoy. He was all out. He was ready for it, but with only 2 members surviving for CCG. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe even look to play around the Baron to deny that. Even with Kitzuo down, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw... Actually, never mind. I take it back. I take it back. I just realized while I was criticizing, saying you have the Pockus, you have Syndra who's behind. You're not going to take a Baron very quickly. You have Corki and Jit. That is also an incredibly slow Baron take. So forget what... You know what? Just act like I didn't say anything. Just pretend none of that was even spoken. I'm going to just sip my tea. Lovely. 4 items for RobbyBob. Spear of Sojin. Wow. That is the thing. When you have so much gold into one person. 4,500 gold lead here for BlackRock. Nearly all of it is RobbyBob. In fact, it is RobbyBob. Because it is equated in the top lane between the top and jungle. Bot lanes are dead even. It is RobbyBob. 3rd time RobbyBob here on BlackRock Esports in the Open Qualifiers 1 has been given the tools to win. The onus is on RobbyBob to position well, to outplay, to land this poke. He's got the package, and look at that damage that he lands with those missiles. Vakin didn't even want to go for the fight. Turns off the lights just to make it a little bit easier as he tries to get in. It was actually stolen by Red, being a hero for the team. But they've got to get these kills. The other side, RobbyBob, the package delivered into the face of CCG. As RobbyBob's got his 11th kill. The rest of CCG on the run. They cannot fight. Only Kitzuo again, the casualty there for BlackRock. And with RobbyBob untouched, they can easily chase away Trevor Roy. They don't even need to worry about the Baron, that they take it slowly, because who is there to deny them outside of Arel? She cannot do anything. Trevor realizes that the Baron started up BlackRock Esports in the driver's seat even more comfortably than before. What a play there. RobbyBob again, stepping up. I love this. Waiting for Kitzuo. Couple seconds there so they can get that. All 5 members will now have the purple regalia. As BlackRock Esports came in to the Open Qualifiers as the 6th seed. And now, against the 5th seed, taking down one of the teams above them in the standings. Of course, the game is not over yet. Still got who knows how much longer. There is always hope for a miracle here out of CCG. Especially when you look at Crimson. 3 items on Gwen. Sure, 2 and 4. But if they can set up a 1-4, wait out this Baron, there's always room for 1v9 Gwen. Decoy will find Trevor. Pulling him back in, even all-outing. That is the Ferromancy, the dash away with the crash down, but Trevor continued to be pulled in by Decoy. Killing spree on Kazante. Your engage tool is out of the question now for CCG. Still the Baron. There's a 4-1. Could be set up, but on the other side for BlackRock Esports, they're the ones still with the purple. with no engage. They are the ones getting engaged instead. Red easily finished off by Kitzuo, locking Vakin in the cage. And when you're locked in a cage as a shadow, you'll be a shadow of yourself, getting chased down. Rocket again, 13-0. RobbyBob opening up the pace with only 2 remaining now for CCG Esports. Trying to survive, but the poke that lands from RobbyBob, dashing forward with the Valkyrie. It's Crimson getting a little bit back as he takes down Kitzuo. I said before, it could be onto the Gwen to win the game, but when you get chipped out by those missile barrages every time you step up, there's not much you can do. The minions are there, engaged from Trevor as he just spawned, and he'll go right back into his grave. Popped up the flash away with the Pop Blossom. So Flocon might survive, but the base is not at the moment. Decoy trying, oh, he will survive, in fact, against Crimson. Red back with his hat in the ring, but this is not a fight you could ever win. The flash was way too late. They want to pad the KDAs, I think, but RobbyBob says no, I'd rather take the game. 3-0 now for Black Rock Esports.